Clap it up. Clap it up, bro. This is 20. This is 20, first of all. When I first started this, I had no idea I would even get past 5. First of all, I thought I would have been making them that someone would just comment on my video like, bro, stop it, bro. Stop biting. But it's crazy. It's my first video I ever made of a SSS video. People telling me, keep going, bro. Keep doing what you're doing. Really gave me hope to keep going. But yo, we at 20 now. It's been a whole year. It's been a year and some change since I started this channel. But yo, we checking out bro again. I'm not even lying, the last 2 videos of his, it's been great. I loved it. 26 minutes, yo, we here.
I've lived alone for most of my adult life. Not by some great design or a tragedy, just by default. No kids, no ex-wife, not even a dog. I had a job that I didn't hate, enough friends to keep me from going completely nuts, and a few hobbies that would pass the time. The rest was just filler. If something needed done, I would do it eventually. Laundry, dishes, groceries, car maintenance, all of it.
Better. Much better.
Existed on this weird clock of motivation that rarely lined up with logic. I kept the fridge mostly empty because I hated grocery stores. I hated cooking even more. Most nights I'd realize that I was hungry, hop in the car for a drive-through or a pickup order. I knew every greasy spoon and every takeout window within a 10-mile radius.
Okay, now that's crazy.
The place.
So you just experiments in every single fast food restaurant. That is kind of crazy. Like, just because Burger King, Sonic, KFC, all that don't mean you have to go to every single one of them. Yes, Sonic has been here, and I have never been to Sonic. There's so much fast food like Golden Chick, Arby's, Burger King, bro. I have never really even been to Jack in the Box, bro. Never been to those places because they just really filler places. If McDonald's really just hidden, bro. McDonald's Whataburger, bro. Like, that's the only place that be hidden, bro.
The place that I lived in was this squat little rental just off a frontage road behind a rundown strip mall. 1 bedroom, no yard to speak of, blinds that were always crooked. It was quiet enough, which is all I really cared about. Never had any trouble with the neighbors. Never had any real sense of community either.
Truth or dare?
Truth.
I just ate mood with my dad. So he came over and
What? You just ate what with your dad? See, these ads be so crazy.
Most nights
I'm not even lying. Look, respect them.
Any trouble with the neighbors. Never had any.
When I'm living in somewhere like these, say I was to be living somewhere like these, in my head I'll be thinking, bro, there's no way you could hit me if I'm living, say I'm living in the middle or the third one. I'm like, out of all these houses, you hit mines, bro? Like, what is the chances of you hitting my house, bro? Out of all of these other houses, bro. Come on.
Any real sense of community either. Most nights I'd get home late, kick off my boots, fire up Hulu or PlayStation, and ride the couch into the early hours. Sometimes I'd scroll through dating apps or online auctions just to kill some time. I didn't drink much, never saw the appeal, and I never touched drugs. I was just lazy in a way that felt like it ran in my blood. The only thing I really stayed on top of was work. I wasn't passionate about it or anything, but it kept the lights on, paid my rent. I was the kind of guy who just did it enough to keep moving forward, even if that meant
wake up, go to work, come back, well, who said that? Yeah, Larry, yo, bro. I wake up, I go to work, I come back, I go to sleep. I wake up, I go to work, I come back, oh, bro, that was the same thing.
Barely. The house was cluttered, but not filthy. The car had its issues, but still ran. I didn't owe anybody anything, and nobody owed me. It was a very simple, low-stakes existence, and I'd gotten real comfortable living in that way. Until one of these nights, it came off the rails because I couldn't be bothered to cook dinner. That night, I got off work around 9. I was wiped. I hadn't eaten anything since noon, and the idea of boiling water or even making a sandwich felt like a whole ordeal. So I grabbed my keys, called in an order to this hole-in-the-wall Chinese place that I like, Paco Panda, out by the gas station. I picked something to stream while I waited. Some murder show probably. I just remember my stomach twisting up at the thought of sesame chicken. It was only a short drive, maybe 10 minutes. The place was mostly empty when I walked in. I paid, grabbed my bag, and thanked the lady at the counter, and went back to my car. The food smelled amazing. I remember turning the heater on full blast even though it was early fall. My idea of a food hack. I just wanted to get home, plant my ass on the couch, and eat straight from the cartons. I hit the first light.
Appealing, bro. Like, even though the noodles, those orange noodles, be so disgusting, bro. The packaging of Chinese food just be looking so cool. Like, you just be, bro, you just be eating.
Coming out of the parking lot and came to a stop.
Even though I haven't. But Panda Express is right there, though.
Music was playing, Let's Go to War by the Murder Dolls, and everything was normal until I noticed movement off to my left. There was this old sun-bleached sedan pulling up beside me, engine rattling, windows down. I glanced over and saw 4 guys inside, early 20s maybe. At first I thought they were trying to get my attention about something, maybe my lights were off or I dropped my wallet or something. I turned my music down and rolled my window halfway. "What?" I called out to them. The guy in the passenger seat leaned out and yelled at me, "You look like you beat off to cartoons, bro." There was this beat where I really didn't react, and then it kind of clicked. They were just being dickheads. I don't know why, but I fired back something without thinking. "Is that something you know a lot about? You like cartoon cum time?" His face dropped, just for a second, but it was enough. Then the light turned green and I gunned it. I didn't expect them to follow me.
I didn't expect them to follow me. Bro, I'm about to go get kidnapped just because he said one line. Like, bro, that is so crazy, bro. Just, you dropped your wallet. That don't even make no sense, bro. You didn't, bro. I was about to say, you didn't even get out your car. I was about to say.
But they did. They didn't tailgate me or try to run me off the road or anything crazy at first. They just stayed behind me, nice and steady. I took a few more turns trying to be sure they were. They matched every move. I pulled into this random grocery store.
No, we're going on a ride then on road. Y'all want to follow me? Perfect. We're going on a ride, bro. Y'all want to follow me? Let's go, bro. We about to go on this 20-minute ride around the town. We just about to be seeing the sights. I don't even need a GPS. I'm just going to be driving. Like, come on.
Lot and looped around to see if they break off, but they didn't. By the time I made it back to my neighborhood, my hands were sweating on the wheel. I considered circling the block maybe, trying to lose them, but
you even got anywhere close. No wonder, yeah, you don't need no one living near with you, bro. You would have put everybody in your household in danger, bro. If I know someone is following me, bro, I'm not gonna go nowhere even near my house, bro. Like, my house is gonna be 20 minutes away. There's no way you're gonna know. I'm gonna be circling around this whole other city until you stop.
I figured, screw it. They'll get bored eventually, right?
Come on.
I pulled into my driveway and left the engine running. Their car rolled up right behind me and stopped in the street. 3 of them got out. The driver stayed put. I didn't recognize any of them. One was tall and wiry, wearing this ski cap even though it wasn't cold out. Another had a hoodie with the strings tied around his face now. The third looked like he had prison muscle, just thick and mean. They didn't charge at my car or anything, they just spread out, slowly walking around me, looking in the windows and muttering something to each other. I stayed in the driver's seat, clutching the steering wheel like a lifeline. My phone was in my pocket, but I hadn't reached.
Why did you pull up to your house? That just blew me, bro. Like, out of all the places, you talk about you pass grocery stores and they just so loud out there. Like, it's so crazy. But yeah, out of all the places you could have pulled up to, you pulled up in the front of your house. I mean, even if you pull off, what is the chances they just, I mean, it's a 75 to 30% chance they like, why did he stop in front of this house out of all the places he just took us? They're probably gonna go ransack your house, or the 70% chance gonna hop in the V and chase you again. So hey,
for it. I didn't want to draw any attention. "All right, come on out, tough guy," one of them said. "Yeah, keep talking that shit," said another, tapping on the glass with his knuckle. I still didn't move. One of them kicked the driver's side door, hard enough to rattle me, and dented it, of course. Then they all laughed. They stood in my yard for maybe 5 more minutes, pointing at stuff, my trash cans, the porch light, my car, just taking stock of what they could fuck with. I expected them to key my doors, to slash a tire, or maybe worse, but eventually they got back in their car and took off without another word. I sat there for another 5 minutes.
This is like the most movie protagonist thing that I have ever seen so far. You stayed there while they're just pacing around your car for. First of all, you should have just been blasting respectfully. Like they just pacing, like they have nothing better to do. Like just 4 people just in that car, just bored. They just like, oh yeah, let's just go f around with people in the middle of the night. We have nothing better to do, bro. Like, come on.
Before moving, just breathing, trying to calm down. Then I grabbed my food, went inside, and double locked the door.
Right? Yeah.
It took me a while to eat. My hands were still shaking, but after a few bites and a few episodes of whatever was on Hulu, things started to settle. I actually started to feel a little stupid about it. Probably just bored kids looking for a thrill. Nothing too serious. By 10, I'd moved on to playing some kind of shooter online. The tension was gone, I was in my boxers, half a beer left on the coffee table, game controller in my hand, completely relaxed. That was at least until past midnight, and that's when I heard footsteps outside my house. Not distant ones, not from the sidewalk or the road. These were close.
I was about to say, like, it's 6, 9. It's around 9:40. Like, how long did it take you to go to that Chinese spot? Not long. So this all probably took place and ended around 9:40, and then they spun back at 12. So hey, that's you, bro.
Sir,
that's you.
on my driveway, slow, heavy crunches.
You chose to do this, bro.
I muted the TV and went to the front window, moving the curtain just enough to peek through. There it was, same shitty sedan, parked in the same exact spot.
Now they know 100% you live there. Like, first, it was just a kind of a, do he live here? I mean, why would he stop here? His door's locked. We don't really want to do all of that. Like, break his car window. Okay, we probably going to leave. But now we pull back up and his car is still here. Oh, yeah, we getting in that house, bro. We about to get you, bro.
3 figures moving up the path to my front door. And this time, they weren't joking around. Same guys, same car, same dead-eyed swagger, like they owned the night itself. One of them had something in his hand. I couldn't really tell what. Maybe a tire iron or a flashlight, but it caught the porch light weird and had this glint and shadow to it. I backed away from the window and locked the deadbolt, then the knob, then slid on the security chain across. My heart was thudding so loud it sounded like footsteps in my ears too. I didn't have a gun, never thought I needed one.
What's my favorite thing about the fall season? I would probably say the warmth of a home becomes even more.
It's bro, like, it is just respectfully, without, but like, who's about to pay thousands of dollars just to get warm respectfully? A lot of people, actually. Let's say that, a lot of people. But this do look nice, but what is this, bro? My mom would have been through this. Oh, hey, no decor.
I didn't even have mace. There's the kitchen full of dull knives and a vague sense of regret. One of the guys.
But yeah, bro said, talking about, bro, you live alone. I feel like, what is the age that you can get a pistol at? Which is kind of crazy. I heard that you can get an automatic gun before a regular gun, bro. That is so crazy. You can get a whole compact rifle before a little pistol. Okay. Kind of crazy.
Guys banged on the door, flat palm first and then with his fist.
And police is
he barked at me to open up. Come on, you tough shit. Come say what you said earlier.
What did he even say?
They pounded harder. The door was old, hollow core, rental grade garbage.
He just said, didn't he just say, did you just think about that? Like, what is that, bro? Bro, it's so pressed over that, bro. Like, you really got, bro, that really tested your manhood, bro. Did you really think about it? That you're like, that really questioned your whole mindset of life. You just thinking he could just question my whole IQ brain. Did you come up with that yourself? Like, come on.
It wouldn't last too long if they really wanted in. For a second, I couldn't move. I just stood there in the living room in my socks, lights still on, beer going warm.
Yeah.
My mouth was dry as chalk. I thought about calling the cops, but what would I say? 3 guys are outside being scary? I hung out with these rough kids growing up, and I knew how that would go. They'd be gone before a cruiser even showed up, if one even showed up.
What do you want?
I turned off the lights.
Oh my God, you're right.
In the dark, the panic sharpened. It made everything feel thinner and more fragile. I could hear them talking out there, louder now. One of them was trying the doorknob. Another stomped on the steps like a child throwing a fit. Then it went quiet.
You just
I crept inside the back bedroom. My closet
with the biggest crash house, they over here throwing the tantrum. You not open the door.
door was open, and inside was something I haven't touched in years. This cheap-ass katana that I bought at the state fair back in high school. It wasn't sharpened, just some steel replica meant to sit on a stand. But it was heavy, long, and intimidating enough in the right lighting. I grabbed it, then opened up a plastic bin where I kept this old Halloween junk, pulled out the mask that I wore a few years ago, this rubber demon face with warped horns and sharp teeth. It stank of dust and plastic, but I shoved it on and made for the back door. I slipped outside, moving along the side of the house, keeping low. The grass under my feet was wet. My heart was still slamming in my chest. I inched forward until I could see the three of them again, still near the porch, looking pissed and confused. 30 more seconds, dumbass, one of them called out. Then we break your fuck.
So, you don't call the police when there's 30 people banging on your door at 12 o'clock, but you will go outside with a rusty katana and mask. To do what? To do what? To scare them? You know what? I hope he gets jumped the vicious way, bro. I hope he gets jumped.
In windows. I didn't give myself any time to think or think twice.
What you do?
I charged. I came around the side of the house full speed, barefoot and wild, swinging the katana over my head like a lunatic. I didn't yell anything coherent, just a howl and this high and raw that ripped out of my chest. They all turned at once. I don't know what they thought they saw, a masked freak with a sword, barefoot and snarling, but it was enough. One of them screamed. The big one tripped over his own feet trying to run backwards, and they all scrambled back to their car, door slamming, tires screeching as
They all scrambled. They walked very peacefully back to their car, bro. They like, who is this man? Just ran from the back of the house, bro.
They peeled off into the dark. I stood there in the yard until the engine noise faded, and that was the last time I ever saw them. After that, I started locking the doors earlier, got a motion light installed, even went and bought a real baseball bat, not for show. I still eat that Chinese takeout. I still live alone. Still waste far too much time on the couch, but I don't really mouth off to strangers anymore.
Albion Online is a sandbox MMORPG in which you write your own story instead of following a...
Bro, I don't care about no Albion. You know what? If it's really an online game and we really can do online stuff, it might be tough. It might be tough. I don't know. I won't hate on it. But yeah, this dude is the most stupidest man I've ever seen.
When I was younger and still living
in any of my SSS videos, respectfully. And we 10 minutes in, bro. Already got me a headache, bro. See how much times I paused this for this man alone, where it was stupidity, bro. Home Alone, bro. You can't leave people like this home alone, bro. They're not like that one kid in Home Alone, bro. It's not like that, bro.
The city, I moved apartments like other people would change clothes. It wasn't that I was getting evicted or anything. They were just these super cheap places. Always a few in classifieds or easy to bounce between if your lease was up or if you didn't like the neighborhood anymore. I didn't own too much either. Bed, couch, TV, some clothes. So packing up and leaving wasn't really that big of a deal. That lifestyle kind of fit me. Everything about it made sense at the time.
Don't that mess up your, like, I would assume that messes up something, just me, every 2 weeks I want to go move out and move into another house, or every month and a half, or when the lease is up, just move to a new one. It's like, bro, damn, why can't you settle? I do not want to sell this house to you if I'm just going to get a year out of you, bro. Let me go get someone that's probably gonna be here for like multiple years.
Like being close to the action. I liked that I could walk to a bar, hit a movie, grab food, all without needing to plan really anything.
Walking in
the last place that I lived before it all went bad was on the east side, right off this long boulevard that cut through a bunch of old brick duplexes.
Hold on, bro. When I paused, I clicked hecky buttons. Oh, bro.
My apartment was a little bigger than the one before it. The floors were warped, the heater ticked all night like it was full of rocks, but it was mine. I moved in just as summer was ending. I remember dragging my mattress up the stairs.
Where is this located at? Because, bro, the only place I've seen stairs like those was in New York, bro. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I'm sorry. But stairs like those in New York.
And being drenched in sweat by the time I got to the top. There was this weird smell in the hallway, too. Kind of like old carpet with rotting fruit, but I figured I'll get used to it. You always do. The unit across from mine had its blinds drawn and a door scuffed to hell.
You chose to live here. Like, what is you talking about, bro? Did you not preview this house already? Like, what you mean? I'm gonna get used to it, bro. You chose this. Just like, bro, like, what is this? Like, this is not even something. This is not something people need to start doing. Let's just bounce from apartment complex to apartment complex. You're just messing the whole cycle up for the next person, bro. Come on.
I didn't think too much of it. Just another tenant, right? The guy who lived there looked like he worked construction or maybe bounced at one of the bars. Shaved head, wide shoulders, sunburned neck.
Okay.
He had a woman too, but I didn't.
Wait, he said work there, or did I hear that right? Because if he said work there, we have Stone Cold Steve Austin on our team, bro. We're safe. We're safe.
The guy who lived there looked like he worked construction or maybe bounced at one of the bars. Shaved head, wide shoulders, sunburnt neck. He had a woman too, but I didn't really see much of her in the beginning. I just heard her. Well, I heard both of them. The fights escalated slowly, then all at once. First, it was raised voices, then crashes and thuds. I'd lie awake on my couch with the volume turned up just to drown it all out, but it always cut through. Him yelling like a man possessed, her begging like she was already half defeated. Sometimes I'd hear her out in the hallway, crying, late at night when I got back from the bar. Just her voice echoing off that brick night after night. The cops came twice. I called both times.
We were just chilling at the bar, bro. That's never, bro. I don't never just want to go chill at a bar. Like, that is just so lame to me, to be honest with you.
They never stayed more than 10 minutes. One time I watched through the peephole, saw the guy standing shirtless in the doorway, arms crossed, just nodding while one of the officers asked him a few questions. The second time, they didn't even get past the front door. It was like they had this routine. Get in, calm things down, leave before the paperwork would start to pile up.
That is...
I actually started sleeping with earplugs, but they didn't help. You can't drown out somebody being hit, and you can't unhear that slap, that wet, awful sound, or the silence that always followed it. Then came the night that I remember being the worst. It had been quiet for 2 days straight, and I thought maybe, just maybe, she finally left him. I got home around 7, made some pasta, and sat down to...
The best scenario, I would say, out of all these medias I have watched of this exact scenario, bro, her leaving will be the best scenario. So let's see what...
Eat in front of the TV. Around 8:30, it started up again, a scream that cut through everything. And it wasn't just fear, it was panic. Full body panic. I muted the TV, already standing up. He was yelling and stomping around. Then I heard something shatter. I heard her say, "Don't, please, don't do that again." And it sounded like somebody getting slammed into the wall. My wall. Didn't really think, I just acted. Grabbed my phone and called the police, again. I told them it's serious, that he actually might kill her this time. Somebody needed to come right now. They gave me the same answer as before. If nobody from that apartment called, their hands were tied unless I heard a weapon, whatever that meant. So I hung up and crossed the hall. No plan, just...
Does that even sound like something a person will say? We can't show up until you hear a weapon. Like, if we hear a weapon, ain't that too late? Like, what are you talking about? At that point, if I hear a weapon, my life is in danger. What is we talking about? I would have cussed her out so bad. Like, bro, you sitting behind the desk, bro. I'm hearing people get stone cold stunner on my wall, bro. Come on. Get 888 on my wall.
Beat in my chest and a sick
do I need to record and send you a voice message? Like, what is this?
turn in my stomach. I knocked. No answer. Just the muffled chaos inside. I pounded harder, and the whole door rattled. This time, it was ripped open, and there he was. He looked taller in the doorway. He filled it even. Shoulders so wide they cast a shadow far over me. His chest was bare, his stomach was heaving, and his face was soaked in sweat and wild-eyed with rage. His mouth was tight like he was chewing on broken glass.
Hey, better him than the girl, right? Better him than the girl, sir.
What the fuck do you want? He asked me. Look, she's screaming, man, I said. I already called the cops. Enough is enough. He stared at me. No blink, no twitch. And I realized just how close I was to him. Only a few inches.
He like, I can really stone cold stunner you, bro. Like, look at the size difference, bro. The size difference don't mean a damn thing. Even if he was eye to eye level, bro, that muscle mass, hey, be flying through the window.
I could smell the beer on his breath, the sweat soaking into his skin. I'm not gonna say it again, I told him. Let her go.
Rey Mysterio him, bro.
And that's when it happened. He didn't say a word to me, didn't shout, just grabbed the front of my shirt and yanked me so far forward that my feet left the ground.
I knew it.
I slammed into the hallway wall. Pain exploded in my ribs. I tried to push him back to get some space, but the fist came down and caught me clean across the jaw. I saw white and dropped. He kept coming though. I scrambled and crawled backwards down the hallway toward my own door. He landed a boot in my stomach. And I coughed so hard that I thought my lungs were about to come up. He didn't stop either. Another punch caught me in the cheek. I hit the floor hard and rolled toward my door, everything spinning. Behind him, I just saw her, just a flash, standing in the doorway holding the frame.
If I was her, I would have been like, yes, a little more, bro. His attention is completely disarmed from me. I would have walked away. Bro, look like he's not ready to stop, bro.
Blood running from her nose.
Damn.
She screamed at me to run. Her voice was hollow,
Let's
though.
all run. Like,
If you're looking to
run.
learn how to trade, a community is very important. And I've joined previous.
Like, you telling me to run right now?
Like somebody that's already halfway gone. I got my key in the lock barely, yanked open the door, and staggered inside.
Lock that door.
He followed me, still swinging. I threw my weight against the door and managed to get it shut just long enough to drop the chain lock. He pounded on the other side, still yelling at me through the door. I slid down to the floor panting, spilling blood onto my tile. I thought it was over then, but he didn't go away. I sat there with my back up against the door, shaking uncontrollably. My left eye was swole shut, and I couldn't take a full breath without pain ripping through my ribs. My hands were sticky with blood, some his, mostly mine.
Huh? So we just gonna let bro just tell this unbelievable cap? Did I just hear that? The world's biggest cap? Did I just
Ribs.
hear that?
My hands were sticky with blood, some his, mostly mine.
No, sir. I can guarantee you all of that blood is yours, bro. I don't think he lost a bit of blood, bro. I don't even think so, bro. I think this all yours, bro. This all your property right here, bro. This all you, bro.
Through the door, I could still hear him out there, pacing, breathing, whispering things that I couldn't quite make out.
The girl is still there.
The door then jolted hard and I jumped up. Another slam.
Damn.
Then a pause. Then the wood cracking.
Really trying to get in.
I scrambled backward, trying to drag the coffee table across the entryway, but my arms wouldn't move right. I think it was dislocated. The chain lock snapped and the door buckled and groaned. Then it gave out completely. He stood there in the frame, calm now, breathing slowly. Should have just minded your own fucking business, he said. I tried to stand and didn't make it. He crossed my room in 2 steps, grabbed me by the collar, and flung me toward the hallway. I hit the wall, shoulder first, and dropped. I tried to crawl, but he kicked the back of my head and I folded. Then came more punches, hard, deep ones to the ribs and back, like he was trying to reach through me. I think I blacked out for a second because when I opened up my eyes, I was in my bedroom. He dragged me there. I was on the mattress on my back, the bed lopsided from the force that he'd thrown me in with. My blood was already soaking into the sheets. He stood over me panting, then reached down, and this is the part that still sticks with me the most. Pulled the blanket up over me, tucked it around my sides like a mother putting her kid to sleep. Don't knock on my fucking door again, he said. You don't call anyone, you don't even look at me or her.
Ooh, you going to jail, bro?
He turned around and started walking, then stopped in the doorway. "Oh, I'm taking this too," he
What is
added.
that?
I couldn't see it clearly, but I heard the clink. The hook near the front door. The spare key that I always left hanging there. He took it. "If I hear you say a word to anybody," he said, "I'll come in while you're sleeping and I'll slit your fucking throat." And then just like that, he was gone. The door creaked closed behind him. I heard his boots retreat across the
So all this evidence, all of this that we just went through a journey, bro. And he just touched. I would say this is the most worst violation I've ever heard, bro. The first dude was stupid, but you, I mean, you know what? I thank you, bro. I actually thank you, bro. You took the beating for her, bro. You took the life beating that he was about to give her. He gave it to you, bro. So, and hey, I thank you, bro. But for you not to call the police after this is kind of crazy, bro. The police would have. He talking about, bro. The police already gonna be at your door when you walk in, sir.
hallway, the quiet pull of his apartment door opening and then shutting. No lock, no final word, just that silence again.
So
I laid in bed until morning and didn't sleep at all, didn't move, just stared at the ceiling and listened to the pipes moan behind the wall. Every little creak sounded like another footstep. Every car door outside made my stomach twist. I kept thinking he was coming back, that he'd left something unfinished. I didn't go to work the next
Why he took the spare key like he didn't already break the door? Bro, is he stupid?
day or the next day after that. I didn't call the cops because, again, what would I say?
Bro,
That I
what
got
is
beat
you
up for
talking
playing
about?
hero? That I poked my nose where it didn't belong? They probably wouldn't even come out again. So a week later, I started looking for new
wow.
places. It took me 2 full months, but I finally got out. Didn't even break the lease, just paid through the end and walked. I left half my furniture behind. I couldn't stand to look at the bed again. The mattress was still bloody. I didn't even have it in me to throw it out. Just let the landlord deal with it. Now I triple check my locks. I keep my blinds shut. I flinch when somebody knocks on the wall, even if it's just the pipes. I still don't even sleep right to this day. I'll wake up thinking he's back, standing at the foot of my bed, holding up that key.
Bro, what type of
I never saw that.
Bro, what type of origin story is this, bro? Like, what is this? This don't have no good ending. What type of, bro? What is this? Didn't I tell y'all? These type of people exist, bro. Moving from place to place. What is that like, bro? Like, are you dumb? Look at him. Look at his face. That's stupid.
Woman again either. Sometimes or occasionally I'll think back to her, wonder if she ever got out, or if she's still in there, taking those punches and screaming behind those old paper-thin walls.
I mean, you played the hero though, so I commend you for taking those punches that one day, bro. So, hey, you got it.
It was the spring of 1996. I was a 15-year-old American girl living in Pakistan with my grandparents. My family had been going through some difficult times back home in the US, and my mother, wanting to shield me from the turmoil, decided it would be best for me to live abroad for a while. What started as this temporary arrangement turned into something a lot more permanent by choice. I'd been in Pakistan since the age of 11, and over time, it truly began to feel like home. I embraced the culture, learned the language, and built strong relationships with my family and friends. Despite having the option to return to the US after every visit, I always chose to stay. Pakistan just became my second home. Our household was always full. My grandparents, my aunt and uncle, their 3 children.
Excuse me. What are you doing?
I'm just taking pictures of the books.
The neighbors, and of course, frequent visitors. We had this open door policy, both literally and figuratively. It was the kind of neighborhood where people rarely locked their doors during the day. It felt safe, secure, or at least so we thought.
So y'all just leave y'all door
Inside
open.
households like ours, it's common to hire domestic help, cooks, cleaners, and general helpers. While my family opted for female help, especially when daughters were in the house, some would prefer young male workers who were seen as stronger and more agile. My grandparents hired this male helper, Bashir, who had his own quarters outside the house. Despite his presence being normalized in our culture, I always felt this deep unease around him. Maybe it was instinctual or maybe just caution.
But you don't feel unease with your door just being open all day, dog. Okay.
But I got into this habit of locking any room that
Bro, what is that? What is that? Bro, what is that? Is that a key? That can't be a key. Is that a doorknob?
I was in when I was home, alone or not, just in case. Being in Pakistan is different.
What is that?
My grandparents were wealthy, but knew danger could lie around any corner, especially for a young girl like myself.
Hey, I'll leave the door.
And on one particular day in spring,
door is open.
everything changed.
Of course.
That afternoon,
is
I was
open.
relaxing in my aunt and uncle's bedroom watching TV. It was my favorite spot when they weren't home because they had this private television, unlike the shared one inside the family lounge downstairs. Now, I had no idea at the time, but I was alone in the house for the first time since moving to
And
Pakistan.
The door is open.
My grandfather was at work, my aunt and uncle had taken the kids to another town, and my grandmother had just left for an errand with our driver. Then
Oh, I blame all. Damn. Bang it on the. Oh, whoa, hold on. Bang it on the door.
came a knock, loud,
Never mind.
repetitive, and urgent. I paused the TV and placed my ear against the door. It was Bashir. He was calling my name in a hurried, anxious tone, asking me to open up. When I asked what he needed, he claimed he had something to give to me. I refused, and he quickly shifted, saying he needed to ask me something.
Oh, no.
So I told him to ask me through the door. But he didn't respond with words. Instead, he began turning the knob and pushing it against the door frame a lot more forcefully. My heart started pounding and reality sank in. I was alone with him. Panic set in, but so did instinct. I looked around for options.
Call your people.
The phone in the bedroom was useless without the phone directory, which was downstairs near my grandparents' room. I didn't have any phone numbers memorized. I looked out the front window, hoping to spot somebody nearby, maybe the neighbor or the friend who lived across the street, but no such luck. Meanwhile, Bashir was still trying to get in.
Weapon.
I thought about hiding in the closet, but it had no lock. I made a quick decision and ran to the attached bathroom. It had 2 locks. I secured both and climbed up to the small window high up on the wall, hoping to get somebody's attention. Once up there, I could see the neighboring house very clearly and tried yelling to get the helpers outside, but just as I was about to scream louder, I heard a familiar voice. It was my grandmother.
What?
She was calling my name from the hallway. I waited for confirmation though, and when I finally heard her voice again, I carefully opened up the bathroom door and then the bedroom door to find my grandmother standing alone and breathless.
Okay.
She immediately apologized, saying she just realized that I was home alone by myself and had now rushed back. She and I both knew what a dangerous mistake it had been to leave me alone that day. I never ended up telling her what Bashir had done. I don't know if she saw him retreat from the door or noticed something was off, but I kept it to myself. The whole ordeal lasted no more than 20 minutes, but it was the most terrifying 20 minutes of my life. Feeling trapped, helpless, and vulnerable inside your own home was this brutal awakening. Years later, in the mid-2000s, I returned to Pakistan for a visit with my mom. By then, I was back in the US full-time. One afternoon while visiting my
There's
grandparents,
no way.
my mom and aunts started to
If it would have ended there, I would have been like, okay, this is the most believable one. Did you finally tell
tease me about this quote-unquote surprise visitor who had come all the way from another village just to see me. They were laughing and nudging each other as they told me to come into the living room. I walked in and there he was, Bashir. My heart sank. He looked unwell. His eyes were bloodshot, and he had that dazed look of somebody who hadn't slept in days. He stared at me with this strange intensity. I kept my face calm and greeted him politely and said I'd heard he got married. Congratulations.
Okay.
He nodded silently. I quickly excused myself and went to my room. That was the last time I saw him. Even after all those years, seeing him brought everything flooding back to me. The fear, the panic, the knowledge that something horrible could indeed have happened that day. Now, I'll never know what his true intentions were, but my gut tells me that I narrowly escaped something awful. What he didn't
I'm not lying. Even if I was to hear Grandma's voice, Grandma was gonna have to catch me at the front door respectfully. I'm not lying. I'm getting out that window.
know was that I wasn't some naive, easily fooled girl. I was a fighter.
Why is there huh? There's in the bathroom. The bathroom have windows. I keep seeing that in media, bro, but I have never seen a bathroom with a window in it.
Grown up with 2 older brothers and have been learning karate since I was 6. My instructor actually used to call me Little Tiger, and if he would have managed to break through those doors, he would have met the tiger inside me.
Okay.
That day shaped me. It taught me about instincts, strength, and survival. And I've carried all that silently with me for years, but today, I finally speak it out loud. Thanks for listening.
Hey. Hey. Whew. Yo. That was a lot. That was a lot, bro. How was it? How was it? And they're still out there. But yo, this is it for this video, man. Amigo / monkey video. I'm trying to do that. I don't know when, but I am going to do that. Probably today, tomorrow, who knows? Maybe. Without further ado, y'all. Peace. See you on the next one.
Bye. Have a beautiful time.